Subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon.
You will never miss an update.
Well, here's the unfortunate reality, folks. Due to all the different aspects of professional wrestling, dying at a young age happens a lot. When stuff like this happens, WWE isn't usually too keen on reminding people that their very dangerous sport has cut the lives of many wrestlers incredibly short. Some of these deaths may have been slightly mentioned on WWE.com, but they were hardly given the props that they really deserve. This is a sad list of sadly dead people. I'm D. Wicket, and these are the 10 wrestlers' deaths WWE purposefully ignored. Number 10, Chris Candido, or as you may remember him in WWE, Skip, part of the Body Donnas alongside Sunny. They were very well-bodied folks, and they liked talking about it. Woo. Also, Skip's cousin Zip would soon join the frame. This all really sounds awful, to be completely honest, but hey, at least Sunny. Chris Candido would wrestle for TNA in 2005 at their Lockdown pay-per-view, where he suffered a number of injuries in his foot, which led to complications, and eventually he was diagnosed with pneumonia. According to his brother, a blood clot due to surgery eventually took Chris's life at the young 33 years of young age.
Brought down, but the emotion, the adrenaline. Wow. How about
brutal, most violent pay-per-view in TNA history. In the opening minute of that first match of the night, that Chris Candido would suffer what we understand is a broken leg. Let's take a look as we go back and check the action.
Oh, you can see right there, you look accidents where it catches right underneath underneath Sonny Siaki. He knows it right away.
Number 9, Sean O'Haire, the former Devil's Advocate character, gave us Dawn Marie flashing the SmackDown crowd, so thank you, Sean. He also gave us Streaking Spanky, so do with that what you will. O'Haire went through multiple rough years with the law and had reportedly been dealing with alcohol addiction and depression, both of which leading to his eventual suicide by hanging in September 2014.
Well, yeah, it's about 800 to 800, so this is going to be the rubber match between Funaki.
I tell you, Sean's having a good time, man. He's just going through guys.
Past few weeks, almost over the past couple of months, to embarrass and humiliate Zach Gowen. But this past week, Zach Gowen, what a match that was. Almost, one of those amazing things I've ever seen.
Not too many guys in this business have done that. You know, that's something right there. He should be proud of.
Here, Waterproof Blonde, one more time tonight. There's the Widowmaker. 3.
I started researching this guy because I know he passed away a couple years back. And so I was watching some of the highlight reels this guy had on YouTube that these people put together. And I was watching this kid, but god dang, what a dynamic performer. A guy that big, 6'5", about 290, built like a Greek god. He's probably one of the biggest guys or most talented guys that never made it.
Number 8, Lance Cade. Let's give credit where credit is due. Lance Cade actually did accomplish quite a bit during his time. He climbed his way through HWA, the predecessor to OVW. OVW itself, before finally teaming up with Trevor Murdoch as a pair of rednecks who actually won tag team gold on 3 occasions, combining up to 230 days holding the belts. That's pretty solid. Just before his WWE departure, he was actually inserted into the Jericho-Michaels feud of 2008. That was awesome. He was a backup to Y2J. Unfortunately, though, he was released from his contract, messed around with the Indies for a while before re-signing with WWE again in 2009, before being released again in April the following year, having not ever gotten back to the main roster, and then in August would die due to heart failure due to drugs.
So Lance Cade, he died this week at age 29. The reported cause, heart failure, but the death is raising red flags for experts on sports injuries, and there could be political consequences.
No, certainly part of a pattern. I mean, he had a drug addiction to painkillers. He was a steroid user. And he also said because the pressure is to use them because the WWE rewards the guys who use them. Right now they're testing guys for steroids. So the guys who are on steroids
after like a decade of not testing them, isn't
right.
that correct?
Well, because they got in trouble with people, with Chris Benoit. You look at the champions they've had lately, the Batistas, the Triple H's. I mean, it's garbage that they're not using stuff. It gives you an enlarged heart, which is why guys are dying from heart failure. They're taking painkillers because they're working 200 nights a year.
Number 7, Test. In 2009, the man they called Test died of a drug overdose, which is unfortunate because WWE definitely didn't want people to know it was mostly due to professional wrestling that he died. It's especially unfortunate considering how much he accomplished during his career. It was never properly acknowledged. He was a former IC and European champion, a 2-time tag champion with Booker T, a 2-time hardcore champion, and lest we forget, was in the main event extremely high-profile relationship with Stephanie Billion-Dollar Princess McMahon. He was only 33 at the time of his death, just 4 days shy of his birthday. Number 6, Crash Holly. Crash had a decent success elsewhere in singles WWE, but if you know him, it's for his 22 reigns as the hardcore champion. I think he's the one who popularized the 24/7 rule, probably. And if not, at least he did have the most memorable moment with the belt, and by that I mean the Hurricanrana off the slidey playset thing. That was fucking cool. Sadly though, in November 2003, whilst at fellow wrestler and friend Stevie Richards' house, his body would be found partially clothed with a face covered in vomit. His death ruled as suicide by prescription pills and choking on his own vomit.
Well, King Moss told the referee to stay downstairs, didn't he? Crash Holly. Hey, look at this. Look at it. Oh, man. Hey, Crash. Oh, the ball's in. Crash, I think. Oh, ambush the headbangers. Look at this. Uh-oh. Oh, what a Hurricanrana by Crash.
Number 5, Jack Tunney. Jack Tunney may not have been a wrestler, but he was WWE's president during the Golden Age, so he counts. The way authority figures should have been done in the WWE, Tunney provided very little interference on the shows unless something really needed to be done. Dear God, please take note, Steph. He passed in 2004 and was given nothing by WWE, but strangely enough, he has been mentioned a few times by different wrestlers since his passing. Just kind of random stuff. Santino Marella tried justifying his spot in the Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal by saying he spoke to him about it before revealing that he was actually dead. That was weird. CM Punk name dropped him as a list of people that might be trying to screw him over during that whole Kevin Nash SummerSlam fiasco, and for some reason, 4 times now, JBL has name dropped him during Dean Ambrose segments.
Everybody, John Cena wants another title match. I've seen this one before. That's why we're not going to do it. Ballsy, though, you coming out here and demanding a title shot and making fun of this guy and making fun of this guy and talking about his cars. Don't you have 10,000 cars?
A few.
Hey, look, it's Captain Third Wheel. You were saying something?
First of all, don't ever interrupt me when I'm speaking. This whole scenario is some sort of concentrated effort by you, Triple H, Kevin Nash. I don't know, maybe Jack Tunney's involved too, but you're all trying to screw me.
Number 4, Doink the Clown. More specifically, Matt Osborne. Doink the Clown was one of the few mid-90s cartoon characters that was actually great, assuming you're talking about his time as a bad guy. Heel Doink was awesome, but when he turned face, well, he was just a clown. Boo. A legend regardless of WWE's weird booking, Matt's life ended in part due to heart disease, but mainly due to a morphine and hydrocodone overdosage. And, well, yeah, that'll do it. Number 3, Viscera. The world's largest love machine, say that with a straight face, I dare you, was a man of very large stature, and I'm going to assume that contributed at least a little bit to the unfortunate 2014 heart attack that he suffered, taking the man's life just 4 days after turning 43. That's weird. The 4 days before and after your birthday death with him and Tess, they both did it. One of them before, one of them after 4 days birthday. I don't like it. It's weird. Number 2, Umaga. Better known as Jamal, the former 3-minute warning member, was the insane Samoan Bulldozer. Also, he was the Samoan Savage. Why 2 nicknames twice as Samoa? I don't get it. But he was your typical monster powerhouse heel foreign angry dude who yelled a lot and won a lot of matches in an era where John Cena killed the momentum of monsters just like him, which he did. Unfortunate too, as he only had 2 Intercontinental Championship reigns with the first time in his company. With his time in the company, and deserved a lot more in that time, to be honest. He was great. It was cut short, sadly, though, in 2009 when he died after mixing a lot of different drugs. It went wrong.
I'm not sure exactly. Oh, look at Umaga going for Hardy's head.
Hey, look at this!
Oh, Browning! Browning! See barbed wire. I see everything. Look out! Oh, man! Oh, man! Boy, this is a night of extreme, isn't it, JR? Oh! Oh! Wait! Don't do this, Jim! No! Oh, my God! A swanton!
And number 1, Chris Benoit. So I am cheating here. Absolutely cheating. WWE completely did mention him. They gave him an entire show as a tribute. The only problem with that being that they didn't know the circumstances of Chris Benoit's death, and afterwards immediately wiped his name from everything WWE. Oh, issues. He's never been intentionally mentioned by anyone in WWE anymore when the WWE Network still had their information on the bullet points on the video thing. You know what I'm talking about? His matches were always purposefully blank, to the point where he's the reason why all of those things are blank now. They don't have any more words. You just gotta spitball what it is. He's not in the Hall of Fame, despite on the wrestling side of things, he obviously deserves it. I'm not trying to push for him to go to the Hall of Fame now. I'm saying just as a wrestler, obviously he deserved it. And well, I really doubt WWE are going to be big fans of the Crossface movie coming out next year.
Famous professional wrestler methodically over the course of a weekend strangle his wife, suffocate his 7-year-old son, then hang himself.
Well, he was scheduled for a live event in Beaumont, Texas, and it was very much unlike Chris not to make live events.
And that was on Saturday, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Our office contacted Chris to try and rearrange flights and things of that nature so that he would come in on Sunday for the pay-per-view. When he didn't show up on Sunday, we knew that there was something drastically wrong. Contacted him, he was not answering the phone, so that's why we sent the authorities over to him. There was no indication whatsoever that this man could possibly turn into this monster and do what he did. And again, we want to know the answers just like everyone else. Steroids may or may not had something to do with this.
And those are the 10 wrestler deaths purposefully ignored by the WWE. Go down and click all those deadly buttons below. Subscribe to DWicket, and hopefully you won't get ignored in the comment section. Make sure you comment.